Today I'll be going over the three main things that we need to talk about: when the Farming Simulator 21 trailer will come out, when we'll see Farming Simulator 21 gameplay, and we're also talking about the FS21 release date and when we should expect to see it. The first thing we need to cover is when the Farming Simulator 21 trailer will come out. We do not have a definite date, but we can estimate pretty well based on previous games. So we know that Giant Software postponed the release of Farming Simulator 21 because of the next generation consoles, so that's the Xbox Series X and the PS5, and they want to see what they could do. That was nearly a year ago now, so we should be expecting at least some kind of trailer or announcement soon. Hopefully this will be coming in the next month or so, but we have no idea when it will actually arrive. I personally estimate that we should expect to see a Farming Simulator 21 trailer in around April or May. This is just an estimate, so do not think this is certain. However, this is very likely based on previous games. We've had the next generation consoles for around 3 months at this point, so they must have started some work on the game, which means a trailer is in the near distance and we should be seeing one very soon. However, this does not mean gameplay. We should expect to see this as an announcement trailer, so it will most likely not be gameplay, but rather it will be showing off some features of FS21, so this may be a new brand, a new mechanic, or even show off some of the map. The soonest we will be seeing this trailer will be April, but it will most likely come around mid-spring, so June or May, depending on when Giant Software release the trailer. Like I said, this is just an estimate and not a real release date, so do not hold me against this if it does turn out to be false. I personally think we should be seeing some new brands and at least some new vehicles in Farming Simulator 21, so this is most likely what the announcement trailer will show. The second thing that I want to talk about is regarding the Farming Simulator 21 trailer and when we will see gameplay. There is no telling when we will see this because we do not know how far they have gotten in terms of developing the game itself, but we can estimate, like we did with the trailer just a few minutes ago, that I think maybe August will be a good estimate. However, it could be later, and yeah, that is definitely a good estimate. A question that I am asked a lot is what platforms will FS21 be available on? Well, there is the next generation consoles obviously, so it will be available on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X as well as the Xbox Series S, but FS21 will also be, so it will 100% be on Xbox One and PS4. This is almost certain because Giant Software know that not every player has a next generation console or a PC, and still will not do in a year's time when the game will most likely release. So they will be releasing FS21 for PS4 and Xbox One as well, and FS21 will also be available on PC and Mac, just like all other Farming Simulator games. And as far as I'm aware, the consoles will also have mods just like with FS19, and we might even see some lenient mod rules so that we can get more of the PC mods onto the Xbox One and PS4 as well as the next generation consoles. So that is all something to look forward to, and yeah, definitely a good feature to FS21 if they do add that. Like I said, nothing is confirmed with the game yet, we know literally nothing, but this is all just estimates based off what I think. The final question that I get asked a lot is when will Farming Simulator 21 be released? We obviously do not have a certain release date for FS21, but we can estimate it fairly accurately. So let's break it down. Farming Simulator 19 released in late 2018, and it was November to be exact. We can assume using this information that FS21 will follow the same pattern, however we do not know if it will be this year or next. That brings us back to Giant's message. They said this year we're releasing 3 more DLCs for FS19 instead of releasing a new FS title. So that was last year they gave that statement, so there will, and there definitely wasn't, as we know, there wasn't a Farming Simulator 21 in 2020. Now that is in 2021, I can say that fairly accurately based on a few factors such as previous release patterns, the message they gave, and also the time it takes to develop games such as FS21. So if they started to work on FS21 as soon as the new consoles came out, we should expect to see games be teased with a trailer around June, July 2020, like I said a few minutes ago. Then we should expect to see a release towards late October. In the best case scenario, however, it could be later if more rules limit their teams and creates delays in development. Obviously there is no news that makes that certain, but in my opinion October 2021 is the best estimate we can make right now, and it could be later, it could be around November pushing like December, but we never know, it could be around that time. We will also be able to see a trailer at FarmCon, which is most likely where they release gameplay and make that playable if FarmCon is on in 2021, as we know that is what they did with FS20. You could play FS20 on the Switch consoles, and that was definitely cool, and they might do that with FS21 again this year. Another thing that I am asked a lot is will Farming Simulator 21 be a lot more realistic than FS19? And I have to say yes, it will. A few features that I've had suggested that a lot of people would like to see are floods, that after the floods damages your farm and equipment, you have to fix that, which is really cool and a realistic feature. Another feature is oil changes, and that is definitely another cool feature. All these things will make FS21 much more realistic, and I think that is what Giants are aiming for. They know that a lot of the community want realistic gameplay, so I think they're going to strive and make sure that with the new next-gen consoles, making the graphics look great and realistic, they're going to make the gameplay realistic as well, and just make it really realistic, yeah. So let's talk about the gameplay features in FS21. We've been waiting around 2 years and nearly 3 when FS21 will come out for a new Farming Simulator game. What will make this new next-gen Farming Simulator so much better? Well, with the next generation consoles, we'll have a massive jump in graphics quality for all games, not just Farming Simulator 21. But with the new features and the specs in the consoles, we can finally have things like working mirrors in the base game, better shader and colour quality, making the game look much more lifelike and realistic like I said above. On the top of that, we should see increased crop and field texture as well, and also much higher quality mud. By that I mean the mud will be stuck on the tractor, with it being very realistic and realistic looking. We should also be able to see mud of fields look much more realistic as well, with being dynamic meaning your tractors will be able to get stuck and need to be towed out of that mud. This is also possible now due to the technology in the new consoles and graphics cards for PC. Another big part of FS21 should be the weather system that we see. Weather will affect your crops and fields, just how the mod seasons work in FS19. We will also have heard rumours of seasons being directly integrated into the main game of FS21, so this will be very likely and it will be a very cool feature and something that we will see in FS21. And with Giant Software giving it their own take on seasons, who knows what we could see, and we could see some kind of dynamic fields with uneven terrain, or even random events such as floods destroying crop, or even landslides ruining your field. That's really all I had to say about the FS21 gameplay and the trailer as well as the release date, and I hope you did enjoy this video, and if you did then make sure you do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe. I would also like to mention that if you guys ever wanted to host your Farming Simulator 19 server and your own multiplayer farm, then you can do now with my sponsor Nitrado. It's as simple as just a few clicks to get your own FS19 dedicated server with 24/7 uptime, lots of storage on mods, and even up to 16 concurrent players. It's a no-brainer to go with Nitrado. You can get started with a link in the description, but FS19 multiplayer servers, and you can play with your friends and whoever you want, and you do not have to worry about starting games or anything. You're straight up into the action and you can start playing immediately. And if you haven't already, then make sure you turn notifications on for the channel, and you will be getting notifications for nearly all the FS21 news that I upload, and so you do not want to miss that. And thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Before the video does end, if you want to find some new maps, trucks, combines, or even tractors to play with on FS19, then you should check out my mod site bestfsmods.com. There are hundreds of new high quality FS19 mods that are free to download, so go check it out, link in the description, and make sure to tell me in the comments what you think FS21 will be like and when it will be released. Hope you subscribe for more FS21 content and go follow me on my social. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see everybody next time.